Well, finally, friends. Hello everyone. I've been gone for a while. It feels like it's been long since I last saw you. And the reason for that is, I moved to a new apartment. Right after that, I got the flu badly. It was my first time getting the flu here in Vietnam. I was really down with it. After the flu, a bunch of other tasks piled up. I had to take care of them one by one. Then, my creative muse decided to go on vacation, and I had no new ideas. But now, I'm healthy again, full of energy, so it's time to start something new. Today, a new project, a nano bowl aquarium, which can work without CO2. About 2 additional systems. Like all my aquariums in the studio, it also works without aeration and filtration. And by the way, aquariums without aeration and filtration. Just like all my nano aquariums, at the end of the video, I'll answer the question everyone asks. How does the aquarium work? Without filters and aeration? There are no secrets here. It's actually very simple. All the answers are provided by nature itself. So here it is, our beautiful bowl. It's 37 centimeters in height, 43 centimeters in diameter, and holds about 40 liters. The stones will be placed in the middle of the bowl. There will be free space in the front, with sand and decorative pebbles. Plants will be placed on the stones, and the entire back part will also be filled with plants. When I bought it, it was covered in a greasy film. I used a bunch of wipes and cleaning agents to wash the glass thoroughly. Now it sparkles and shines, not as transparent as my other bowls were, because it was pretty messy. But over time, with regular cleaning, all this buildup will eventually go away and the glass will become clearer. So, as always, the first step is to lay the first layer of pebbles and shape it. There we go. So, today I'll be using these twigs, the ones I used in my last shallow aquarium. I had some left over. I'll break them into small pieces and create a beautiful scape with twigs emerging from the stones. For the stones, I'll use this dark Seiryu stone. It has these beautiful white veins running through it. And for the stones, I have a variety from large to medium and small sizes. I'll pick out the ones that suit the scape best, since the glass in round aquariums significantly magnifies the size of the stones. I have to be careful with this. I'm not entirely sure yet, because once water is added to the aquarium, the stones will visually increase in size by 2 to 3 times. As for the pebbles, I pre-wash them under tap water. I'll also wash the second batch of pebbles. Then we'll add the substrate, using regular aquarium soil. Here is the granular substrate that I usually use. I broke the pellets into smaller pieces. I made them this small. And now, the tools are ready. So, that's basically I'll introduce you to the plants. Once the hardscape is ready, let's get started. Well, the whole layer of pebbles is ready. I raised it to the top, so the back is more visible. After adding the substrate, the layer will rise even more. Then, the plants in the back will get more light and will be visible from behind. The stones and layer of pebbles are necessary for the colonization of bacteria. Bacteria love pebbles and settle well in them. These bacteria are involved in the biological filtration of the aquarium. Since this aquarium is a nano, without filters or aeration, bacteria will play a big role in filtering. And the plants will help too. Now, let's add the first layer of substrate. This granulated substrate will be the first layer. I'll sprinkle it and slightly mix it with the pebbles. Then, I'll add some more aquarium soil and start laying the stones. We'll gradually add more layers as we go. Usually, I also add a thin layer of vermicast and granules for indoor plants for extra nourishment. But I ran out. And honestly, I forgot to buy more. So this time, we'll stick with just 2 types of substrate. Now, I'll add a thin layer of aquarium soil and start laying the stones to form our hardscape. Well, this is how the hardscape turned out. It looks dramatic. As usual, with rocks like these, it always ends up looking dramatic. I almost don't want to plant any plants. I'd love to leave it desolate and lifeless. But plants are very important for the ecosystem. They ensure the aquarium works well. So, we will plant them. The key is to arrange them properly. The main thing is to organize them correctly. But this stone on the right, I decided to remove. It felt unnecessary to me. It's better to leave that corner for the plants, so that the plants are visible. But this is how the island turned out. Now, I'll take cyanoacrylate glue for the aquarium and glue all the stones together to keep the entire hardscape sturdy. So, while the stones dry, we'll add the sand. I have two kinds of sand. A little bit of each should be enough for this setup. Here's one type. Light yellow. And a darker color like this. I'll mix them together in one container. And then we'll start. Pouring it in. Let's see what happens if we don't break or cut these clumps, because if you cut them, the edges will be visible and it won't look as nice. See? The cut parts would be visible and it wouldn't be very attractive. Watch as I place it right into the sand, closer to the stone, so I can glue it to the stone so it won't float up. See how beautiful it looks, casting a shadow? It looks lovely, and it will spread across the surface. I think it's perfect. Yes, I'll leave it as is. I think it looks great. Yes, I'll definitely keep it. I'm not sure about the top part, though. I might trim it, or maybe not. I'm not sure. I'll decide later. But overall, I'll glue it to the stone. Now, I'll break off small twigs to decorate. From the base of the tree, they'll cascade down the stones like this. Alright, friends, its beauty is indescribable. Ideas come to me during the process. I didn't plan for this design, but it turned out well, and I'm very happy with it. I almost want to leave this aquarium without any plants at all. Just fill it with water. Make the water a little darker, and it'll be a cool biotope aquarium. But I did buy some plants, so let's start planting them. Now, I'll show you what I have today. So, here are all the plants for today. I might use some of them, and maybe not use others. This kind of weed will definitely go in the background. I won't name all the plants in the video, but I'll leave all the names in the description below the video so you can check them out. Here's some bamboo that I'll definitely plant a bit of. This is the best moss I've tried. It's the most resilient and easy to care for. It grows very well and looks amazing. Check the video description for the exact name of MHA. Next, add some hair grass. Also, place a little bit here. Now, let's add this Echinodorus. I'll attach it, possibly to the bottom of the tree. Also place some behind the tree at the bottom. Here's a fern, with the lobelia already prepared. Just place it down. Next, here's a plant. This one might work too. I'll use it later. Anubias is quite large for us. And here's a very small one. I'll definitely use both. Cryptocoryne also goes in the background, it's bigger. Monte Carlo will be placed in the front. That's it. The setup is still in progress. I'll decide which sensors to plant later. During the setup, I'll figure out what to plant and what to save for other projects. Let's go. Well,
Friends.
the hardest part, planting the plants, is done. I didn't plant the air moss, but I planted everything else. Monte Carlo was added a bit, just here. I also planted almost all the bamboo. The fern is on the base of the tree. I only planted one type of Anubias, the smallest. I won't plant the second one. I want to keep a green island. Everything else will be bare and without plants. Let's check out the final look before adding water. I completely forgot about the moss. We didn't add it yet. I'll add it now, but just a bit, only small pieces on the tree branches. I won't attach it to the stones, just on the edges of some twigs. Now it's definitely time to fill everything with water. By the way, about bamboo, I'm using bamboo for the first time in its underwater form. Usually, I've used it in its immersed form, but it also grows well underwater. Its leaves underwater will be a little lighter over time. Let's see how it takes root. Well, friends, we're done. It turned out super pretty. As always, unexpected. This design wasn't planned originally. Things always work out during the process. I really like the final result. Now, I just need to bacteria and water conditioner. Remove plant particles. Mix the water. And from today, I will change the water every week. For more on how I care for the new aquarium, check the description under this video. In a day or two, when the water is completely crystal clear, I'll make the final video. I'll also add bacteria. Add bacteria with each water change as needed. Add bacteria. Since the aquarium is new, now I'll add more bacteria than usual. For this volume, I'll add. So, mix thoroughly. And add water conditioner. I use a concentrated water conditioner. Just a little is needed for this volume. You can find the bacteria and conditioners in the description. I've listed almost all the materials and tools I use under this video. You can also order these on AliExpress. Follow the links. The lamp I'm using is a 9-watt with a stand, just like the one used for all your balls. Also, the links to these stand lamps are on AliExpress. Check the description under this video for your shopping. You often ask me how this works. An aquarium without filtration and aeration. It's very simple. In nature, there are no filters or aeration, yet plants grow and fish live there. Everything works fine. Biological filtration takes place. Bacteria and other microorganisms in the water filter it. Plants also act as a filter. They filter the water and release oxygen, which is necessary for fish and other microorganisms to survive. Therefore, a filter is not always necessary. For an aquarium of this size, the most important thing is to use a nutrient-rich substrate, do everything correctly, and use a large number of plants. Regular care is also crucial. Water changes are a must. In nature, water changes happen naturally with rain and groundwater. Here, the system is closed, so water changes in nano aquariums without filters and without aeration are necessary every week. For a new aquarium, check my description under the video. If you like my new nano aquarium, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and follow my Instagram page. I also post updates and photos of all my aquariums there. Also, follow the links in the description under this video to make your purchases on AliExpress. See you again in new projects. Bye-bye. Well, friends, it's been 3 days. The water is completely crystal clear. I added 5 snails. I always add snails right away. Shrimp and fish, I usually add after 3 to 4 weeks, when I'm sure that the biosystem is stable. In this aquarium, I don't expect a big outbreak of brown algae, because in such round aquariums, usually with a lot of plants, there are almost no outbreaks of brown algae. By the way, about this plant, I named it Monte Carlo, but sometimes I doubt if it's Monte Carlo, or if it's just a type of Hemianthus, a different variety of the same that plant grows up, which I have a lot of in other aquariums. I have some suspicion about it. I hope it's not. I hope it will grow like Monte Carlo and form a nice carpet. I hope it will look like a rug of Hemianthus Monte Carlo. Hemianthus Monte Carlo is very hard to distinguish from the other species, especially in the form it is sold in stores. They look almost identical. It's only later, after planting, that the Hemianthus changes the shape of its leaves and grows. At the sale stage, it looks almost like Monte Carlo, so let's hope it's still Monte Carlo. The moss I have is old and not very fresh. I will see if it grows. So far, it looks very neat, but I didn't want to focus too much on the moss on the tree. I only intended to place it a little bit, so I think. With time it grows and becomes fluffier. The bamboo is doing well so far, but it's only been 3 days. I will monitor the aquarium for the next 3 weeks to see how the bamboo changes. Will it grow taller? Will anything happen with the leaves underwater? I hope they don't rot or dissolve. I hope it will maintain its form, and all the leaves will stay in place. I'm changing the water every day and adding bacteria and water conditioner after each change.